Welcome, or welcome back. Sitting out in nature still at the same park of the last video that I recorded. Moments after I finished recording that video, and then took a nice little nature video. Perhaps I'll post that too, but I don't know if that's necessary. I guess I just had a thought that and I've heard this quote before, or I've heard this, or somebody say something similar to everything that you ever desire, or, it can be applied in different ways, I suppose. Your greatest purpose is just beyond the thing that you fear the most. And I think as I've been recording these videos, and perhaps part of the reason why I found myself starting this process however many months ago, 6 or 7 or 8, or maybe it was a year. I'm not even sure how long it's been at this point since I posted my first YouTube video, kind of as a lark, honestly. Realizing that perhaps, and I suppose this shows up in different ways throughout my life, but I've noticed the tendency for me to want to, and this sounds counterintuitive, perhaps, maybe not. I'm sure somebody will understand and relate. That it seems like I've wanted to be invisible. That I've wanted to hide myself away. Seem to fear perhaps not being good enough, or being judged by others for whatever it is that I say, or being misunderstood by others for whatever it is that I say or do. Or really, when you boil it down, for who I am. And so I've heard this called something recently, and I suppose it's fairly apt, a visibility wound, if you will. A lot of my life experience up to this point has been, as I've reflected on it, seemingly attempting to escape, like to run away, as if I could, That's a funny joke right there. Thinking that you can run away. Nothing works. Nothing works. I've tried a lot of things, but you can't run. You can't hide. The universe has got like a GPS locator on you. Take it into human perspective, like into technology that we understand and we have at our disposal these days. On every single one of us. We all have our individual purposes. And, if your biggest fear is, or if everything you want or everything you desire is right on the other side of your biggest fear, then I guess I'm meant to be seen. Hence, the intuition that I actually followed 7 months ago, or however long, again, I don't know when I posted my last video. It doesn't really matter. To start putting myself out there in some form or another, whatever that may be. Digitally happened to be the medium in which, I don't know if it was the easiest, but it seems like a good entry point. It allows someone like me to still be alone. At least in the physical, or closer to alone. There are people surrounding me all over this park, and that is another quote-unquote threat. Ooh, what will people think of me if they see me recording and see me talking to myself and or talking out loud to a camera or whatever? Ooh, that's really scary. And I don't mean to mock myself or mock anybody that feels that way. Not too seriously, just a gentle mocking. The gentlest kind of mocking, so that you can see how light, you can see how much things don't matter as much as you think. You know, I've been watching so many videos lately, all different types, many of them self-development type videos or whatever. And shout out to this guy. I think his YouTube channel name now is Julian himself or something like that. Or, yeah, something like that. Julian LeBlanc, maybe? I think that's his name. Connected to the RSD, Real Social Dynamics universe for a little while, and perhaps he's broken off to do his own thing, because I see him by himself all the time now. Owen Cook being the originator, I believe, of that thing. And shout out to both of those guys. They're fantastic. There was a point in time whenever I was looking into that type of thing. But he makes really good points. Not that these are points that I have never heard before or never thought about before, but like, people don't care nearly as much about you as you think they do. And as much as the ego would like to think that the entire world revolves around it, and that everybody, whenever you're not around, is talking about you and thinking about you, in the most likely sense, no. They have their own lives too. They're probably thinking about them. And rightfully so, honestly. To be honest, I'm coming to the understanding, the realization, whatever, that, man, it's just sad. It's just sad. Like, almost bringing me to tears right now. To think of anybody that would focus on you more than them. And I think that, maybe that'll be a helpful perspective for somebody. If there is somebody that's overly focused on you and constantly talking about you, don't be mad. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. There's no need to be mad. No need to be angry or frustrated or even to think about it at all. That's like a compliment. If somebody's focused on you more than they are themselves, that's because they don't think that they're worth focusing on. Their ego doesn't think they're worth focusing on. And believe me, I've been there. I'm still getting myself out of that. Because like so many things, as I've mentioned before, humans are creatures of habit to some degree. And that's just another habit program, another program that I've been running for my life. And you could just drop the program. It doesn't serve you. It's not. It doesn't serve me. And so I'm sure it doesn't serve you. Ultimately. Now maybe for the time being, there's no judgment. If you feel that it is serving you in some positive way, you have completely hostile parents or friends or whatever, well, okay. That can serve you for the time being, but what are you going to do about it? Are you just going to continue living with those friends, with those parents? In order to perpetuate the cycle over and over and over again? Or do you want things to change? And I hate to say it, but sometimes the best answer is just to walk away. If you're in a situation like that, where things are hostile and people are constantly gossiping about you or whatever the circumstances are in your life, perhaps it's best to just walk away and find people that love you for who you are and accept you for who you are. Because there are people like that out there. They're all over the place. The world is so diverse. And so many people get comfortable in their little bubble, never want to move. Speaking from experience. And I guess I'm just getting tired of that. I don't care anymore. Judge me. I just want to remind you that while you're doing so, it says way more about you than it does me. Because if you were judging me, you clearly don't know who I am, and by extension, you don't know who you are either. And perhaps that's the reason for the judgment in the first place. Because you refuse to see who you are and recognize that within me. But anyway, that's just the food for thought. Light is getting very, very low. It's past sunset. It's still gorgeous. It's still enough light to see, but I'll be completely in the dark here soon, besides this beautiful moonlight. It's like a 3/4 moon. Let me show you. Oh yeah. So close to a new moon, or full moon rather. And now, here, the park with all the lights, things calming down even more, the wind calming down. It's just becoming more and more peaceful. And I love it. And you know, I love you. And I hope you can, if you don't already, learn to love yourself and see yourself in everybody else, because that's the real truth of the matter, is that we're all part of the same thing. We're all one. You deserve it. You're worth it. You're more than enough. Until next time.